What a joy it is for me to be here tonight and introduce to you the very first architect I ever met. This recognition is not only a reminder of a strong career in architecture, but also of so many relationships my father has enjoyed over the years. Relationship with fellow architects and designers, wonderful clients, collaborative consultants, and those who continue to engage with the buildings he designed. When my mother was reaching the end of her life, she asked me if she had made a difference in anyone's life. Like so many who reflect on their own contributions and impact, she was sincerely concerned about accomplishing her goal. I told her that although we might not know the names of all the people whose lives she had touched, I was certain that they were here in the city of Dallas and elsewhere. My father, too, has touched the lives of many people. Some of these people he knows personally, and some he does not. As architects, we can never know everyone who experiences the buildings that we design, but we can try to create a positive experience. We can try to shape a beautiful environment, and we can try to bring joy to the lives of other people. I don't want to read my dad's entire biography to you tonight. It's hard to take 90 years and cut it down to about 900 words. However, I do want to mention just a few things about his background that you may not know. My father spent his early childhood years in the Appalachian Mountains of eastern Kentucky. He was a navigator in the Second World War flying B-29s over the South Pacific. He studied structural engineering before he studied architecture, and he still draws beautifully by hand to this day. His architecture career started over 60 years ago at the University of Texas at Austin. Since my dad was committed to finishing his degree quickly, he moved through the required 5-year professional coursework in 3 calendar years. After graduation, he accepted a position in Fort Worth with Wilson Patterson and Associates. My parents moved from Fort Worth to Dallas when Dad accepted a role as a designer with Harwood K. Smith and Partners. After reaching the position of principal and establishing the design direction of the firm, my father left HKS to launch his own firm as a sole practitioner in the early 1960s. My mother was the accountant for that firm in its early years. When he decided to expand his practice, Dad invited Howard Parker to join him in a partnership that lasted for decades. In the mid-70s, Clutts and Parker merged with Terrell Harper and Harris Kemp to form Harper Kemp Clutts and Parker, later HKCP. Today, the next generation of architects, led by Grady Jennings, continues the practice. Practicing at a time when being a generalist was celebrated, my father built a diverse portfolio. He created projects that were designed for the occupants rather than calling attention to himself. My father's work in Dallas and throughout the state of Texas created places for people to worship the God of their choice. One that holds a special meaning for our family is St. Michael's and All Angels Episcopal Church. His design created places for the curious to learn life's lessons. And if you attended elementary school in Marfa, or a magnet school here in Dallas, or for the ladies, if you attended, as a girl of any age, the Hockaday School, chances are you know my father's work. From the earliest school ages to those of postgraduate research and investigation, he worked in both the private and public school systems, UT Austin, Texas A&M University in College Station and Commerce, the University of North Texas in Denton, and UT Southwestern Medical Center. He designed individual homes for families, including ones for his parents and his children, the home where I and my brothers were born, and a second home where we grew up. He built environments for work, Tracy Locke, the Mike McCool buildings, the Stewart Company, and the former Safeco Insurance Company, all along the Central Expressway corridor. If you played golf or tennis, or if you enjoyed swimming in the summers, chances are you encountered my father's work at Brookhaven Country Club. Or if the city lights were more your style, with cocktails, dinner, and dancing, then you might have encountered his work at the former Chaparral Club. He built buildings for presentation and performance, notably the Garland Performing Arts Center. And his work in site planning alone touched countless Texas communities. My father carried his love of architecture into leadership roles in the profession. a former president of both the Dallas chapter AIA and the Texas Society of Architects. He was elected to the College of Fellows, served on the National Board of Directors, and played several killer games of golf with members of the Royal Institute of British Architects, our colleagues across the pond. He is now an emeritus member of the profession. Today, my father continues to share his love of architecture with me and others. He recently exhibited some of his sketches from trips to Alaska and Russia, and last fall, we took a road trip to visit some of his earliest work, projects I'd never seen, and Dad did the driving. It reminded me of occasional Saturday mornings of my childhood, times when he would take me either to a job site or to his office while he worked, both of us sitting quietly and drawing in our own styles. So you see, environments are formative, and design does matter. Sharing your life's work and your life's love can have a profound influence on others. Please join me tonight in recognizing the recipient of the 2014 Dallas Chapter AIA Lifetime Achievement Award, my father, James A. Clutts, FAIA.